that? It's baile. Baile sa tibuok kalibutan. Is that how it is? Baile tibuok kalibutan. Right? And then there's, what does it mean? There's another aura here that's walking away. And I think this is me. This is me so chic. Who is this? But I know for sure this is me. This is probably my mom and dad in love forever and ever. Yes. Anyway, we are here today because I need to share something that I promised I'll be sharing, because I keep dreaming, I keep seeing, I keep encountering number 69 everywhere. At first I thought that it was just a random encounter, just one of those little coincidences. But then it started to appear over and over again, like for example through my social media platform, in my mobile number, in Excel sheets I am working on, in passports number. Literally everywhere, whatever I do, I see the number 69, 69 everywhere, until it went into my dream. The moment I dreamt about it, that's when I told myself, okay, stop. I will talk about it, okay? I will deliver it. Just give me a moment because I am busy at work. And so I did a little research about it, okay? And let's say, I don't know, I just want to know what it means. I'm just curious. I'm curious what it means to me. And maybe it will also mean something to anyone who will be able to hear this. Remember, I also had a dream about my grandmother, wherein she told me she'd massage my back every day for a year to help it straighten. And when I woke up, I realized both the dream and the numbers were speaking the same language of healing through balance. It's still trying to speak to me. The world is still trying to speak to me. What am I not getting? I think it's trying to make me feel relaxed and not anxious, and not be controlling of my situations. Just trust. And that's what I want to talk about today. What it means to live in balance, to trust the flow of energy, and to understand that what you always give always finds its way back to you. Wait a minute, let me check what's going on with my camera. Stop. Wala pa nga. Wait a minute. I get distracted. Anyway, when I kept seeing 69, I started wondering, what does it really mean? Not in a funny way or internet way, but energetically and spiritually. What is it trying to deliver to me and show to me? So when you look at the number 69, it's literally two shapes facing each other, right? One giving and one receiving. It's the yin and yang, the eternal balance of energy, life, and connection. It's a reminder that every flow has a return, every out breath has an in breath. When you breathe out, you breathe in. Every ending is just the start of another cycle. When we are out of balance, such as you are giving too much, or holding too much, or forcing too much, the universe starts sending gentle reminders to us. It could be through experiences, wherein you actually experience things, sometimes through people, and sometimes through symbols like numbers, a hint at what could be possibly you're going through internally. And that could help you fix or maybe align your internal world. We can also take it that 69 shows up when we've forgotten to receive. Diba? We always give, we always tend to give, we always tend to take care and think of others. How about accepting? Right? How about receiving? Or when we've stopped trusting that what's ours will come back in its own rhythm. The world will remind us, hey, maybe it's your turn to receive now. Right? Alam ko, mahirap naman talaga i-trust yung whatever you give will come back to you. Lalo na kung wala namang, alam mo yun, masalimuot na lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay mo. Tapos, these things and these words will not even be able to help you. And I don't know how, but I've also been there, you know. And hopefully me myself will like set a good example, or an example rather. I cannot say that I am good because I don't know if I am, but yeah, maybe I could set, or my story could set an example to people that bad things, really bad things can happen to you, and even the things that you don't want to happen will happen. Okay? And then sometimes nagtataka ka, ang bait-bait ko naman, bakit nangyayari to sa akin? Like, you feel like a curse, diba? Parang ganon. But ang palagi mong tatandaan, kahit nahihirapan ka na, kahit wala na talagang natitira sa'yo, huwag kang mag-alala kung mapagbigay kang tao, kasi lahat ng binigay mo ay mababalik sa'yo. Okay? Because me, for example, sa life ko ha, I didn't have much in life growing up. But one thing I remember is that I didn't wish bad upon others. I didn't judge others badly. Kasi ganun kami pinalaki ng parents ko. And that's what I am giving to my environment, for not judging, right? For not having a bad intentions. And so when I suddenly was growing up, miracles were happening to me. And you know, sometimes even up until now, I wonder why I'm here in Dubai. Why, like, and how did that even happen? I'm just someone who grew up from a very underdeveloped village, diba? Like, there's no electricity, diba? And now I'm here, like facing in front of a camera with electricity and being in one of the most advanced city in the world. It's so wild to me. And so yes, do not stop on giving. Also, I've read something on Pinterest. It says that when giving feels good to you, it is aligned. So just continue giving. But when giving feels like you are abandoning yourself or feels like it's draining you, it means because you are abandoning yourself. Okay? Let me repeat that again. When giving feels like it feels good to you, it means it is aligned. However, if giving is draining you, it is, I get distracted again. I can't believe this is my brain. I get distracted. I cannot be in recitations continuously. Imagine defending my thesis. What the hell? I will literally, my brain will leave from that situation. That's what happens. Like what's happening right now, my brain is leaving. Why is that? I also want to connect that there's a simple law that the soul seems to know, wherein energy never disappears, it transforms. So when we love, that energy doesn't vanish, even when relationships end. When we give, that generosity becomes part of the flow, and that it always finds its way back, sometimes through unexpected doors. That's why I'm here. You know, Dubai is something unexpected to me. It's one of the unexpected doors that happened to me. Yeah. It's wild. And I didn't stop it, even though I was so scared. No, it was like, whatever, I'm gonna take it. Okay, I just went to the rhythm. I think the only struggle between balance and humans is that we humans often resist the rhythm. We want control, we want proof, we want to hold outcomes. And yet, when things like this, for example, seeing 69, where it shows bring balance where things have been uneven, to trust the flow, that what you give will return. For me, this message hit deeply. I realized how much I had been giving without allowing myself to rest or receive. There was a lot of love that I gave. Sometimes we think strength means to carry everything, but true strength is to stay open enough to be restored. I remember I was willing to love somebody and support somebody without even expecting of anything in return. And even now, I think that if I will fall again, if I will fall in love again, I think it is in my veins not to expect something. But I am loving because I am enjoying to do that. And if I will not receive it from the same person, I will receive it in a different way. Ganun yun eh. ganun siya nag-work for me ha. Ewan ko sa'yo. Sorry. And siguro, siguro sinusundan ako ng number 69 everywhere, not to warn me, but to remind me. To remind me that yes, you did it before, you followed the rhythm, even though you didn't know what was coming, and you just trust the flow, you just trust whatever is given to you. Yes, thank you for sending me that reminder. Let's talk about synchronicity. Okay, those strange alignments that seem to carry meaning, such as numbers, dreams, or symbols. They sort of signs from the field of life, reminding us that we're connected to something bigger. When you start to live with awareness, you realize life is always in conversation with you. You don't need to chase signs. They appear when you are in rhythm with yourself. And 69 itself, that infinite motion between giving and receiving, it teaches that the universe isn't random. It mirrors you. So when you overgive, it reflects your emptiness. When you balance it, okay, that is when it mirrors peace. I just remember my daughter, we went to a ramen place earlier. We had our date, and then she was basically roasting me. She likes to roast me, you know. And she was roasting me that, you know, Mom, I really see you just like Master Ugoy in Kung Fu Panda. That says something about past, present, and future. Quote. She's so funny. Anyway, my question though is that when we are receiving 69 symbols, right? When we are seeing 69, what are we gonna do? How are we going to leave this message out? So maybe, andito na naman tayo sa maybe. Take a moment to yourself. That's what I did. I took a lot of time before I even face the camera. You know, I ask myself, is this coming from love or from fear of losing something? And then I allowed myself to receive that message. I started allowing rest for my body, accepting supports, accepting compliments and help, and at the same time receiving generosity from my colleagues, especially at work. I'm there 9 to 5 every day. I also just trust. Trust is one of the things, because when you trust the rhythm, the divine timing, you're trusting yourself, and do not doubt it, because just because something hasn't returned yet doesn't mean it's lost. Things are always in motion. It's simply still in motion. That's it. And whenever you see endings, for me in my own life, there's always endings, like every day, in every little way. I feel there is a loss every day, and I like that. And it's okay with me because every loss is also a space for something new to flow in. Whenever I throw something, like, or I give out something, for example, clothes, there will be new ones. Or something is broken, something new will come. When I didn't have any lipstick anymore, suddenly the next day, a friend of mine is giving me the lipstick I was thinking about. I didn't even have to buy things. They just come to me. I don't know. Yeah, it's like magic. So, when we live with balance, we don't chase, we attract naturally, and that's what exactly is happening in my life. That is why I stopped fearing, okay? And therefore we can stop fearing emptiness, because we trust that the world refills what we release. The world itself refills what we lack. For example, me, right? I didn't have my own parents growing up, but then because the world recognizes that I need a mother and a father, they gave me one. They provided a new family to me, even if they are not my family in blood. So the world provides. Okay, if you need love, it will provide you love. Whether it could be from somebody else or the love should come at you first. For example, loving yourself first. The most important. Okay? Now, let's go to philosophy, because this is something interesting to me, okay? In philosophy, especially in Hegel's thought, according to Hegel, truth comes from contradiction. He has a philosophy about contradiction, which means from two forces that seem opposite but actually create movement and grow together. So, magkaibang bagay, but they need to exist in order, kahit magkaiba sila, they need to exist together in order to be in flow. They need to be together to exist. You know what I mean? So it's like 69 reminds us that life is not about choosing one side over the other. It's about flowing through both. For example, giving and receiving, loving and releasing, because your loving is not supposed to be controlling, right? Creating and then resting. You need to rest for you to be able to create. That's where real wisdom lives. Right? Ano pa ba? We have another philosopher, Catherine Malabou. Philosopher Catherine Malabou, she has a philosophy which she calls plasticity. Plasticity is the ability of something to be formed, deformed, and transformed again. Basically, Malabou says that everything, our identity, our history, even our attention, carries within the potential for its own revolution. I have my own revolution. You have your own revolution. Even that phone in front of me, that camera in front of me, has its own revolution. Nothing stays still. Every form holds the power to break itself open and become something new. When something passes, it doesn't mean it's the end. It transforms into a different energy. So when we see 69, 69, it can also mean every ending, every distraction, and every collapse is part of life's natural rhythm of recreation. Things don't just fall apart just to disappear. They fall apart so they can reform differently. Remember how Earth were created? Earth is actually created through destruction. So without destruction, there is no new form. You need to be destroyed. You need to break free. You need to make mistakes. It's okay. There's no such thing as mistakes anyway. They are only distractions. And these distractions are needed in life for you to fall into your own becoming. Okay. You know what's funny? That thought actually brings to mind a question that someone asked me. And this was from a secret lover. What secret lover? Ex-lover of mine. I do not have a secret lover. Why did I say secret lover? From an ex-lover of mine, wherein he asked me kind of a moral thought experiment question, wherein he said, what would you do if you were on a boat, okay, on a boat about to crash toward 100 people this way? However, you have a choice wherein you could turn the wheel to save the 100 people, but if you did, okay, a wanted criminal on the other side would die. What would you do? In that situation, though, answer me, what would you do? Are you going to save the 100 people or one criminal? It's a very good philosophical question. I think he's testing me. I didn't realize that. But I do not care. I just stood by myself and just, I didn't have to reflect that much. And so I answered him that I wouldn't touch the wheel. First and foremost, I won't put blood on my hands. Whether it would kill an innocent man or a criminal one. That is because, I'm sorry, I trust the rhythm of the world. I'm not here to decide who lives or dies. If it's me anyway who's meant to go, then so be it. Well, paalam, okay? It's my turn and my turn. Only, at that time, I didn't realize how much that answer aligned with philosophy, but it's exactly what Lao Tzu spoke about. The non-interference. Listen to this. The non-interference is when he said, the sage does not act, yet nothing is left undone. What does it mean? Ano ibig sabihin nun, di ba? Meaning to say, even if I do nothing, the world doesn't stop. Things will still evolve. Remember the story of Juan Tamad? Di ba may naghihintay siya ng bayabas? Nakita niya yung bayabas, uy, may bayabas. Hindi niya talaga kinuha, di ba? Kasi hinintay niya lang na mahinog so that it will just drop towards him. Hintay siya, humiga siya dun sa puno. Instead of climbing the tree, he was just waiting there for the guava to get ripe and fall to him. That's the story of Juan Tamad. So that just shows that even if you do nothing, okay, things will still ripe, things will still, see how bad it is that he was called Juan Tamad, but actually he was just trusting the process. He trusts the process that guava fruit will go ripe. But what if a bird actually eats the guava first before him? A lot of things could happen too, but there is a form of trust in that story. Anyway, it's not that deep, no? I don't know. Naalala ko lang si Juan Tamad. Palaging panakot sa akin ni Mama yun eh. You know how magical that is, to do nothing and still things will happen to you? For example, you know, when I was just back in my home country, right? I was literally on my bed and I didn't feel like doing anything. I felt like it was the end of me. I didn't go out my house for weeks. Okay? I didn't go out the house for weeks. Like, every worst things have happened. And I didn't have any fighting left anymore. That all I can do is just do nothing. That's what I did. I did nothing, and then one day I just received a call from Dubai asking if I am willing to work here. I was literally naked on the bed, and then I received a call, "Are you ready for an interview?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm ready, girl. Let's do it." So parang ganun lang siya, no? But that is because in my past, I already did a lot of good things in order for me to, receive those miracles. And it may not come the way I wanted it to be or the way I expected things, because it didn't come from people where I invested love. It just came from, I don't know, nowhere. Just like, that's why I call it a miracle. You know? Also, do not be afraid of meeting new people. Do not be afraid of welcoming new people, because sometimes they give way to your life that you don't know. Sometimes they are the one that gives you miracles, or their words or their wisdom can help you, or they have connections that can help you. You'll never really know. You know? What I've learned from Lao Tzu is to trust that harmony doesn't come from controlling outcomes. It comes from trusting the natural rhythm of the world. To interfere from fear is to break the flow. To allow what must unfold is to move with Tao, the way of life itself. Tao, Taoism. I have a book of Lao Tzu and I read it over and over again because I had to remind myself that God is a woman. Chari! No. That you can speak with your energy. You can speak to the rhythm. You can listen to it. Basta, it grounds you as a human being. So if I were you, you should just start reading Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Okay? We can also say that the message of 6969 isn't just about numbers, that it is about life, It's the world, our circumstances reminding us to stop fighting the flow, to stop measuring our worth, our value by how much we can carry and give, and to remember that balance is divine. When we give from a full heart, I want you to remember that we never lose. Kang mag-alala sa heartbreak mo. Because what we give, love, kindness, care, truth, they always finds its way back, multiplied the most unexpected way. So if you've been saying 69-2 or 69-69, take it as a reminder. You are in the middle of a cycle that's balancing itself out. Let it, trust it, because what's meant for you is already on its way. It's already you, you just have to discover yourself. Okay? Maybe I'll see you next time. Let me actually edit this video now, because this is my promise to post as soon as I film this. And you know, I gotta fulfill that promise. See you next time. Good night.